Crazy.
And hello, everyone. We are back. It is Sunday night. That means it's time for the Weekly Dig. For anyone new to the stream, exactly. It's a live show where we dig into anime, old and new. I am Brent. These are my fabulous co-hosts, Steve.
Hello, hello.
And John.
Hey, hey. Konnichiwa, Mina.
And today we've got a special day.
Oh, is it special?
Oh, is it special? Because
it's the most special.
We get to talk about Otakon 2022. Well, we survived.
We survived. Awesome. I'm glad you went with that.
This was an experience this year.
Yep.
We've been checking social media, and a lot of folks are having a great time. Sure. A lot of folks are enjoying themselves. It's working out well for a lot of folks. Not so much for all of us. It was a bit of a trial this year, I have to admit. I think it really started with me. I wasn't informed of any of the panels that I was accepted, so I had to find out by checking the schedule and discovering they were there.
Which came up like what, 2 days before the con actually started?
Oh, the schedule itself was 2 weeks.
Yeah,
yes. Right. But the guidebook wasn't actually available until 2 days before the convention, so that was interesting. Awesome, Mogu. Glad to hear you could go to Otakon. What was your experiences, Mogu? I'm very curious. I mean, you missed. Oh, yeah, that's a shame. Glad you had a good time once you got in.
Yeah.
We had rather different experiences. Actually, the line for us wasn't really a problem.
No.
We were able to get in, all that kind of stuff. But I had a couple of panels double booked, so we ended up dividing that up between some other panelists. And then I got in on Thursday night to pick up my panelist ribbon and stuff. I already got the badge. These are the 2022 Oticon Badges, which are holographic, which is very cool. Which I don't think actually shows. Oh, there it goes.
Is it holograph or is it lenticular or whatever?
Lenticular.
The heck that thing is?
There we go. Lenticular. So pretty cool.
I learned a word at some point in my life.
And then there's a little presenter thing. So I showed up on Thursday to get all that stuff. Took a little while. Only to discover they didn't have any of those. There were no presenter ribbons. So I had to come back the next morning, except that one of my panels started before they actually had the ribbons in. So that was an experience because I came in the next morning to figure that out. Went up to panel ops and was like, which was fun. They were not having a good day.
No.
They were just running around the chickens with their heads cut off. But
meanwhile, the table with the presenters were just like this.
Yeah, there were a handful of us sitting around just going, But fortunately, they gave me my special pass.
Yeah.
It would take me to various presenters.
After I had to actually go grab the guy in charge and go, we need this now, please. Please.
Mm-hmm. So this was my pass. Whatever that means. I think it's allowed on stage, maybe.
Yeah.
I still think it says a burned sausage. A burned on sausage.
A burned on sausage. That's right. With two cute little sticker stamps on it. And this is so this is my burned on sausage pass. So took that down to the panel room where nobody cared. Oh, good, you're here. Get on stage. But that panel went quite well. I actually can show you here real quick. Let me switch over to. Actually, we will scroll down, go the opposite direction here. We had add to stream. There we go. So we had pretty good turnout there at that first panel. Had a good time there. That was the Isekai panel, history of Isekai panel. So that was a lot of fun. And then went on to do the rest of the con and kind of hang out and go to panels and such. Got to see some really cool cosplay while we were there. Elias from Ancient Majesty's Bride here. The unusual Hilly Churl from Genshin Impact. Pretty random. Here is the line later on Friday.
Yeah.
To give you an idea. Wrapping all around that building.
Fortunately, in the cloud, not in the burning hot Washington sun.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad at that point. We got a perfect blue cosplay. I just want to point out.
So literally, Brent and I were trying to, we're talking as we're moving through the line. We were both discussing about what would be some unusual cosplay that we would have seen. We were talking about Satoshi Kon, and we're just like, oh, it's so hard because everything, everyone's going to kind of look normal. Da 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 da. John shows up, and John turns around and goes, "Oh wait, perfect blue!" And we look at him, oh my god, we were just talking about this. What the heck?
Exactly.
Well, see, I was bringing fresh eyes since I just had Ubered in. So, like, hi, how you doing? Fresh eyes. Look at that.
Yeah, we had already been up since 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was on the road at that point.
Yeah.
We're waking up to get on the road.
Mm-hmm. Here's Artist Alley to give you an idea of kind of the size and scope. Really, really big this year. I mean, about as big as previous years, but still very, very large. A lot of things to see and do. And there's a dealer's room. To give you an idea.
You can talk about it a little bit later.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the fact that they opened up the aisle centers more. So that in years gone by, it's been a little like shoulder to shoulder as people are standing deep. And it's like this time the aisles were, even with as many people, the aisles were still somewhat mobile. It's like, thank you. I appreciate that at least. You organize that better. Hey, good on y'all.
So there's a good amount of that stuff. Also things to buy at Otakon.
Yeah.
This is a Euroforger Dakimakura for $600. We did some Googling earlier today. Want to guess how much you can pay for a similar Euroforger Dakimakura?
$100.
25.
Oh wow.
Not even joking.
But see, that was made out of the tears of orphans. It's stitched together with rare spider silk. So
we are all orpans.
We are all orpans.
But lots of cool cosplay at the con as expected. Half of it was
Genshin.
Yeah. Genshin was everywhere.
It has all the monies and all the costumes.
Yep, exactly.
You saw a lot of Yamato cosplay. I missed that.
Yamato. Oh, cool! I did not see all the Yamato cosplay.
Yeah, I missed those.
I will point out, in fairness, the three of us play Genshin Impact, so we're doing that. What is the term for the psychological thing where, like, if you're looking for something, you see it, but you don't see it if you're not looking for it? So I'm sure we were all have that bias walking around. Ooh, Genshin. Ooh, Genshin.
Venti.
Exactly.
Kazuha, neat.
Kazuha. Also, the most disturbing Asuka figurine I've ever seen in my life.
I want your soul.
Well, she's got washable hair so that you can sit around and go, Timotei. Oh God, no.
I did not see any which there may have been an Atelier cosplay. That is certainly possible. I saw some of those sort of greenish, green costumes, but I don't remember seeing specifically. There's some Itasha cars there, very cool. So you can see a bunch of that stuff. I think I had some other photos. Yep, of all of those there. So a lot of neat wraps of various anime characters. I just had to take a photo of the other one because
reasons.
Well, just because of faceless Sailor Moon.
I think that's so that you can fill it in later. Like you take a picture of that and then you can Photoshop it in and be like, "Hey, look, my face is on a car."
Perfect. Yes, that's not creepy.
Maybe. No, not at all.
Anyone else recognize Ya Boy Kong Ming?
Hell yeah.
Great cosplay. Yeah. So we headed around the what were some of the panels you guys went to and you enjoyed? What were some of your sort of panel experiences? Nothing?
Well, we went to some.
Oh, I thought you were talking to chat.
No,
I'm like looking at chat, and be like, what do we got?
Well, what was the manga one online?
Azuki, yeah.
Which I think you guys had on the last Oticon, and that was really neat. Obviously they were just telling us about their product, but it was just a really neat thing to hear, just kind of like a new place to find manga, and they're talking about all the stuff that they're trying to license, and the cool thing that they're doing is they're like, yeah, nothing's off the board. If we can get it, we'll put it up on there, and it seems like a pretty good deal. I mean, they got some interesting stuff. What's the Yakuza Babysitter one?
The Yakuza Guide to Babysitting.
Yeah. Yakuza Guide to Babysitting. They have that. They have a bunch of shoujo, shoujin, all that stuff. And I'm when I get home, I'm gonna kind of check them out. See what I can get.
Yeah, agreed.
And I liked the Studio Orange.
Yeah.
It was great hearing him talk, and discussing his career, discussing how they work together, and again, somebody who is bilingual and like absolutely. I mean, there were a few words he said that you were like, oh, that doesn't sound exactly like American English, and yet the rest of it is just like the dude walked off a bus in LA, like, hi, how y'all doing? Like, holy crap!
Wow.
Yeah.
And for those not familiar, Studio Orange is the studio behind Beastars, Land of the Lustrous, and the upcoming Trigun series, which everyone was.
Oh, the kimono. The kimono.
Yeah. Kimono dying. Yes, that was really cool.
Kimono, and they had a guy walking around with the actual fabric.
Yeah, that was great.
And touch it. It was really very interesting, actually, from a historical perspective.
Yeah.
We just wandered into that one, by the way.
Totally.
Right place at the right time.
Our panel group did a history of Kyoto Animation panel. Actually, who is Kyoto Animation? So it was more about the individual people working there, some of the kind of the leading lights of the studio. That was really interesting. A lot of folks are more about the anime. This is more about, this person mentored this person who went on to do this thing. You got more of an idea of that, which is really cool. I like that one a lot.
And another one of those where we needed more time.
Yeah, absolutely.
We needed at least another half an hour on that. Needed another half an hour with your panel to be able to get all the information out.
I will give something that cons have been doing more and more, and Otacon's finally started doing as well, is they build in a 50-minute gap between each panel. So you don't get those overlaps where one person is finishing up and the other person is kind of sitting there like, my panel's starting now.
Yeah.
So that was good. And folks were keeping to that time nicely. So there was a good transition period. I like that a lot. So there was that.
I like the light novel voice actors, producers, directors.
That was a lot of fun.
Everybody that they brought in, where it's just like, I mean, and that's not just one person plane ticket. That's what would we say? It was like 8 or 9 people. Or it's like, oh my gosh, two translators, a bunch of people. That was awesome.
Because they had a light novel. Actually, the author of My Teen Romantic Comedy, Snafu.
Yep, Snafu.
He was there. His editor was there. The guy who ran the animation studio that animated Snafu was there. The head of TMS, anime programming, was there.
The voice actor who did some of the voices for the characters in the animes was there. It was like,
it was really nice and cool, but it was very also amusing when they would, first of course talking there in Japanese, and then like the others would respond and just laugh out loud, and the rest of us in the audience was like, translation.
Yes, translate quicker. Yeah, the TBS guy surprised me that they would bring in TBS. I'm like, wow. I mean,
dang. Yeah. The highlight definitely of that panel for those there was they asked about the isekai trend and what was happening with that.
Yeah.
And so they deferred to the head of TBS, the channel, and he stood up and said, "I think isekai should die."
Yeah, that was awesome.
Everyone's just, whoa.
So it was just like, yes, thank you.
Although he did say, I don't think it's going to die soon. Like, I think it has another 5, maybe 10 years of life left in it, which is fair. Like, it's certainly not dead.
Which, I mean, we talked about this before, where it's like the permutations are starting to spin out of it.
Yeah.
So you're getting different takes on it. So in 5 years, isekai is going to look really interesting. I like to see how they've teased out some of the more esoteric elements of it. Mm-hmm. And maybe it'll become some kind of new genre by that point. Who knows?
Who knows?
The anime that has become a genre unto itself.
Yes.
Shall we call it?
It will then become a sports anime. And then everybody goes to nationals. Like, oh, cool. Neat.
And how many places have you isekai to? Well, Captain.
Yeah, I'm the new kid on the block. I've only gone to one place.
Yes. So how do you make an isekai where, like, an isekai sports anime where, like, it's how many worlds can you jump to?
Right.
You know, and this is the guy who's jumped to like 38 worlds, and this person has only done 26, and he's trying to catch up. There we go.
Yep. And every place he goes,
I will succeed. I will beat my rival.
And make it isekai over time.
Yeah.
So that he encounters baseball for the first time with like Abner Doubleday. And like, you know, this guy just shows up and is like throwing a ball around, and then he like isekais into a different world, but like similar timeline. So it's 50 years in the future in another world where he now is like he has to learn from a Babe Ruth. Like of that world, and then like you just kind of dial it forward, and the other guy is doing that from other different worlds, and they intersect, and that's where you've got I've been to 26 worlds, and I'm now this good. The other guy's like, well, son, I've been to 38 worlds, and I've seen a lot. I'm going to take this world team to nationals.
The question is Babe Ruth a cat boy?
He could be a semi-sentient blob.
Okay. Sold.
We'll call the guy from TBS. Listen, I know you're not hot on isekai right now, but
what if Babe Ruth were a slime? Come on. And isekai. No.
The things we can do.
Exactly. But there were some weirdnesses as well this time around. The dealer's room closed at 6, which they insisted has been true forever.
Which I can't remember. I'm wondering if it's a Mandela effect or whatever, because I can't remember a time except for once maybe.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah, but people were they're definitely complaining about it. Yeah. They're very upset.
Yeah. I think I remember that food court upstairs was closed early. But I thought the other times we've been at, I thought it was 8. I mean,
yeah, I thought so too. Lines were very long on Friday and Saturday. If you got there, post 9-10 a.m. apparently. Right. So that was unfortunate. Folks were standing outside for an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours.
Yeah.
So
around the block, around the building, like holy.
Yeah.
What was the panel we couldn't get into?
Oh, that was the Toonami retrospective.
Toonami retro with with the actual. Was it a disco? No, was it the discotheque? No, it was Bill Bellio and Steve Blum.
Steve Blum and Bill Billingsley.
Yeah, Billingsley. Yeah.
And we didn't know that they were in there at first, so we're lining up, and they didn't even do a room clear. So, we're just standing there for a few minutes before someone says, okay, it's done, it's over, go home. We're just like,
yeah.
But there was a good line for that before we couldn't get in. So
yeah.
And apparently that was not the only time something like that happened.
No, a lot of complaints online about line issues, and not even just like long lines of just lines. People would line up and then just be told, nope, we're not doing that. You can't line up.
Right, you can't line up. You're not allowed to. You have to move on. And then they're like, okay, line up. And it's just like,
yeah,
what are we doing?
What do you want?
And then, of course, and then, we're hearing stories about people outside being redirected to the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
We just, there's things like when I went in there on Thursday night because I came down because they instituted a COVID policy 72 hours before the con. And so when you showed up there, if you had your badge, you were supposed to be able to get in and get your COVID thing. You have to prove it with a Vax card or a doctor's whatever. And anyway, point being is that there was no real explanation as to how you did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was actually in line for a while, not long, actually, not very long at all. And I got pretty far up before a girl came up and said, "Oh, do you have your badge?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, here it is." And she goes, "Do you have your Vax card?" Here's my ID. She's like, "Okay, here you go, boom." But there was no announcement anyway. Like it's not like she was yelling, "Oh, by the way, if you have this, you can do this." No, none of that. And of course, there was, you trying to get in. Yeah. And I would think that if you were a panelist coming to get your stuff so you can do your thing because you got the first panel, one of the first panels in the morning, that they would go, "Oh, you're a panelist," check you off on a list and say, "Oh, okay, Brent P. Newhall, please come on in. You big schlub, me. You stay out there because you're not on a panel.
Stay out in the hot." No,
But you would think that would happen. That would make sense, but no.
No, I had to wait outside everyone else. Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah, outdoor line management and wristlets and directing was this year that I've never seen. Like we learned later on, you could go to the second door, and that was if you had your badge and you had your wristlet, and you could get in like 2 seconds, versus the line for 2 hours. Like somebody needed to say some words.
Yeah.
And then there was getting the additional, bracelets that John and I had a separate quest on.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being screamed at. Next! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Whatever I did, I'm so sorry. Please stop yelling at me.
Yes, the planning for 18 plus panels with wristlet entry at early in the evening and then making it like difficult to actually get the wristlets.
So basically the whole reason why we went on the quest was, and I get it on a certain level, was that
we're trying to see Gunbuster. Darn it!
Gunbuster. And we get up there and they're like, "Oh, you need your wrist," and both John and I are just like, I'm like,
I pulled my mask off. I'm like, really?
And the guy is just like, he even knew. He knew. The guy knew, but he was just like, he stuck to his guns. He said, "No, you have to do the thing. You have to get the wristband." And so you just go down there. Well, if you're ever at Otakon, someone goes, "Oh, it's just down there." It's not just down there. It's never just
two buildings away, the Sahara Desert, like everything. Like what the hell?
We literally had to like crawl. No, not crawl through a pipe or whatever. No, we actually had to walk through where we came in originally for the registration, and like, okay, you have to go down that hallway. And we're like, okay, there's no signage.
Yeah,
we're walking down the hallway. We're seeing an office. We're like, oh, do we go in there? And then we kept hearing screaming, "No, further down!"
Like further down to a giant blue curtain with no signage, no indication there was anything. Like,
and so we go, we go down the thing.
It's just an abattoir. It just walks in blades, just slice you up. Like, oh no!
And by the way, this literally is tucked away in an obscure corner, away from everything. And we were just like, "Oh my god!" And then we were like, we turned around and go, "Oh my god! How do we get out?"
Yeah.
Which again, we dodged a bullet. We got in at this weird nexus. We missed Gunbuster. Like that was that was gone. No more. Couldn't get in. And when we left there, everybody and their uncle showed up. And it's like all of a sudden a small space with these people trying to like check IDs is crammed with people. Like, oh, that didn't go well at all.
Now, keep in mind, folks, that at this time at 10 o'clock at night on Saturday night, they're already starting to show 18 plus program, and they're actually doing room clears. So John and I actually sat in one thing. This is how we figured out we needed the thing. But, we were told to get out, whatever. And but the majority of the people at Otakon are not 18 plus.
Yep.
So you have 85% of what, shall we tell what the attendance was?
Over 40,000 people.
Oh, that was the numbers for Saturday alone, or just for the whole weekend?
Overall. Overall, yeah.
So if you
over 40,000,
85% of that cannot go to these things. Well, guess what happened on Saturday night? The majority of these things were 18 and over. So you had all these kids looking for a place to go.
Video room 2 started clearing for 18 plus at 7 p.m.
Yep.
Other rooms at different other times, but it was real early this year.
Yeah, and when you add into that, you shut down Dealer Hall and Artist Alley, and Dealer Hall at 6, Artist Alley was at 8. You all of a sudden end up with this crunch of people who are like, okay, we can't do the 18s, we can't go shop around and spend any money. What do? We just constantly circulate.
It was we were going up, John, you and I were going up the escalator to meet back up with Brent before his panel at 10.
Yeah.
And as we were coming up, like a sea of humanity was descending down the escalators.
Yeah.
And we were just like, and we're like the lone two, like locust of the apocalypse, like going up the escalator.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we're against the trend, I guess.
Yeah. And there was nowhere to go. I mean, they were just going.
Yeah. Thank goodness for the video game room.
That I wish they had the Gundam cases because I want to try it, damn it. But that absorbed a lot of people. I wish we had the energy to go over and see what everybody was chanting about when they were doing the rhythm singing game, because it's like they were totally stoked on that. It's like, you guys are going.
Yeah.
It's like, thank goodness.
So tired and so annoyed by at least I can attest to that. I was so annoyed at one point. Especially with the dealer's room when I'm trying to eat we all know that it's closing, right? And it's all jammed up, people trying to go up the escalator and stuff. So we figure we can just get our food and eat it just really quick and then get out, right? So, of course the volunteer comes by and she says, get out, basically.
Well, to be clear, she says, because it's a giant room, right? The acoustics are horrific.
Yeah.
So you can't hear. She has a megaphone, so that just bounces it off even further.
So by the time she gets to us, we're looking at her like, what are you saying? We think we're pretty sure we know what you're saying, but what are you saying? And by this point, she's so irritated at just our mere presence, and she was just like, you need to get out. You need to get out. It's just like, oh, okay. And meanwhile, they're just like, okay, we're getting up. And I'm like sitting there, like, just cramming food.
Trying to cram food in as fast as you can.
And she was just like, if you don't leave, you will be escorted out. I was like, fries sticking out of my cheek. I was like, fine. What's your stinking fries anyway? Threw them at the basket. I don't even know if they went in. Did they go?
I don't know.
Most of them did, but like I said, the little box from it bounced on the top and then came to rest. And that's what, like I said this morning, like that's why I was just waiting for somebody to like, gotta put that in the can, and then you were gonna go like completely Hulk.
Completely
yeah. You'd be like, like, oh wow. It's about to get ugly, people.
John and chat, if they had come around saying the reactor is melting, you have to leave the room, that would have been great.
Yeah. We would have laughed and said, okay, we're on our way. But that's what didn't happen. And just to kind of give you an idea, folks, that's kind of the tone. And even though I'm kind of ragging on this one particular volunteer, to be fair, they were overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They were incredibly overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I kind of, I do feel for the volunteers because they did not sign up for this.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it sounds like, because the weird thing is we've been talking about this all day.
Yeah.
What happened? Like, why do we have all these issues? And it's not that they were understaffed. Right. Like there were staff around, there were people around to kind of handle things. It's like they didn't have the materials or the training to kind of deal with the people there. Right. Nobody had, end of line signs, things along those lines. Right. If anything, it was, scrawled on a piece of cardboard. it was just lack of preparation.
And anytime you asked somebody a question, it was literally they just went, God, why? Please don't. I can just see.
Don't hurt me.
At one point, I'm sure that they were like standing there going, "Oh God, can I hide this thing so nobody comes up to me?" Because they're probably, I'm like, I probably was like, you probably see this big schlub like me coming up to him. Hey, do you know where the? Oh God, please!
I gotta imagine the volunteer like break room. There's like people huddled in corners, folks going around like a cup of water. Be like, Barbara, are you okay? I can't handle the questions anymore. I can't handle the questions. I know it's called shell shock, honey. You'll be fine.
It's okay. It's okay.
I recommend 20 cc's of like Snickers, banana split, and 2 coffees, and I think she'll pull through.
It's the anime thing of the guy in the corner gloomy.
Yes,
but they're all in corners gloomy.
Yeah. Well, as we had talked about safety issues that had come up.
Yeah.
The more as I was driving back to Roanoke, the more I was thinking about it. When Steve threw out his meal and we're trying to get onto the escalator, do you realize the incredibly dangerous situation that was with the number of people crushing in to get into that area that no one managed?
Yeah.
No one pulled people around. Go around the post, please. Come down the aisle and start to line up and then proceed orderly. It's like, no, everybody just bottlenecking into that exit. It's like, oh, dude, that is not.
And to be clear, this is not just about the dealer's room. We're just using this as an example. This was pretty much all across the con. And shall we tell them about the guy being thrown under the bus at ops panel?
No.
Okay.
We'll leave that. Yes. Okay.
I'll have that on my.
There we go. We'll leave that for your channel. Suffice to say that the staff was having a bad time, and we overheard it.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't just overheard. It was like, here you go.
Yeah.
But the poor staff was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
As we were talking about it today, more and more clearly, it was coming to us that they weren't trained. They didn't have the proper authority to do anything, responsibility. They didn't have Brent was saying, the materials to be able to do the thing.
Yeah, an SOP would have been awesome. Manual to follow that they
had something
and train on.
And I think these people were I'll get more into it on my channel, but we might talk about how the volunteers treated us, but just understand that we also recognize that they were just in a situation they were woefully unprepared for, and that's not their fault.
We are describing behavior that occurred.
Right.
We are not ascribing intent, or anything along those. This is just what happened. Those are, I'm sure, lovely people that I would very much enjoy, sitting down with.
Right.
But our interactions with them in those moments were not pleasant.
Well, the times that it was a moment of breather, like coming in and being like, good morning, and folks are like, good morning. And then when everything goes insane, they stop talking to everybody. It's like natural human reaction. You're like, I can give back some positivity when I'm not like just in the tidal wave of people. Like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So for me personally, as a panelist, I headlined 2 panels. Parents Guide to Anime, Saturday night at 10 p.m.
Because that's when all the parents are going to be.
Exactly. Yes. 3 hours after all of the 18, or after some of the 18 plus panels have started. We had a grand total of 12 people at that panel, including these guys. And next morning this morning I did my brief history of anime, which was pretty well attended. That was a good smattering of people. I'd say half full, maybe. So that was nice, and some good comments afterwards, some good discussion afterwards with some folks, including a viewer of the channel. So when you're watching this later on, nice to meet you. So that was fun. That was cool. But unfortunately, the Parents Guide panel was a bit of a dud, as it turned out. But
it happens.
It happens. So,
well, we enjoy listening to Zhongli. Steve and I enjoy sitting in the audience, just listening to your dulcet tones. as you're up there on the stage.
Osmanthus wine tastes as good as I remember.
Chills.
It's like standing on the top of an alpine mountain.
You might do York peppermint patty.
It's like listening to Brett talking to cock. I
think we have the advertisement idea right there.
There we go. And again, driving back home with the number of hours that I had to think about things, the more I think about, as we discussed, room for improvement, things that they need to change, but it doesn't change my inherent love of the fact that I so enjoy coming and seeing the awesome cosplays. Saw more crossplay this time than I ever have.
True.
And I just beautifully done. I told you guys the very first day when I was waiting to find you, I walked up to a gentleman who was dressed in a bunny girl. And I just walked up to him. I'm like, dude, you have awesome legs. And he just turns around. He's like, thanks, man. It's like, I love the passion involved in it. I love hanging out with people I know, you guys, going to the panels, eating, doing crazy stuff, and just hanging out. And it's like, thank goodness that these, bizarre things that happen, these odd glitches and bumps in here, didn't ruin the core concept of us being passionate for the thing that we love and being all together doing the thing.
Yeah. Amen.
So I seriously enjoy it
because all three of us are tough guys.
I thought about trying to do the tough guy when I came on, be like, I enjoyed the con because I'm a tough guy, but I'm tired. I can't do it. I couldn't get the air guitar out and start wailing at it. Tough guy.
No one will
fight the
That's great. So if you guys haven't seen the documentary about the mid-'80s called Miami Connection, almost got John on that one.
The documentary. Oh god.
An extremely cheesy 80s movie about cocaine motorcycle ninjas and the rock band Taekwondo experts that try to stop them.
Yes, Dragon Sound.
Dragon Sound. Yes.
Yeah. That would be awesome. We get T-shirts made up just show us Dragon Sound.
Good.
So John,
classic guitars.
So John got me during we're walking back up to meet with you, and he goes, "Samurai Cop." I'm like, "Oh my god, where?"
Any cheap polyester brown wig works.
That's great.
That would be, again, that's like one of the really easiest kind of cosplay. Awful brown wig. And that's like basically blue jeans and like a sort of blue shirt and a t-shirt. I'm like, that's perfect. Yeah. Samurai Cop.
And a really chewed up sword.
Oh goodness.
Anyway,
see, this is what happens when you hang out with people and have a good time.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yep, definitely. I will also shout out in the dealer's room. They actually brought in like mini food trucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they had like Asian food and Mexican food and so forth.
Yeah.
And they had a Firehouse subs.
Yes.
Yep.
Boy, was that a good idea, because the subs were pre-made. You just got in line, walked up. What do you want? Here's your sub. Here's your drink.
I'm unpacking everything and get my wallet, and they're like, "Dude, we're ready."
Which again, having the nice hot dish serve food, fine. But those sections lined up with people, and it's like, nope. Firehouse is like, and sub for the back, and sub for you. That's sub. Hey, buddy. It's like,
hey, we're just like, we had the food already. We can eat now.
I know.
Yeah.
We can eat. Oh my god.
I'm waiting for somebody to get the basket out and throw the thing, and then come over here. It's like, nope, you're good to go.
So, pro tip for those going to the con.
Yeah,
it's a nice fast way of getting your food.
Yeah. A good quality food, tasty.
It actually was
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brownie.
That brownie was.
Yeah.
So I had the brownie. And I was just like thinking, okay, it's deli brownie, whatever. It's probably gonna be still. Oh my god! It's like, oh my god, this is really good. They're both looking at me like, "What? Do you need to be alone with that?" Good brownies.
Steve's doing the face. Let's just sit over here.
Well, we've all had experiences with convention food in the past. We all know the bar is, and it's down here. It's right down here.
One of these days, I mean, when Otakon gets everything back to being where it should be,
2030 or so.
Yeah, I mean, another 25 years, it'll be fine. I want to try the Caribbean Soul truck. Just curiosity. It's like just to see whether it's good or is it just really bland, sort of like Disney World food where it's spicy enough that everybody will like it.
Yeah.
And nobody will be particularly impressed by it. So it's I know it sounds like why would you want to try it then? Because I thirst with curiosity. I must know.
Exactly. So sort of mixed bag for me, at least this year. Definitely a lot of logistical issues behind the scenes. But in terms of just, the like you're saying, the pure con hanging out experience, classic Otakon.
Yeah. Man, the cosplay.
How are you guys?
Man, the cosplay.
Oh, yeah, man, the cosplay. Oh. Yeah. Any other sort of final thoughts on Otakon this year?
Dunbean.
Yeah.
Yes. Aura Battler Dunbean.
Yeah. I've always been kind of whatever, and then we got to sit down and watch a few episodes, and it was like we're all just like, oh, I like that. I like that design.
Yeah,
that was nice. And Macross 7 is the best thing ever.
Oh yeah.
And if you believe me, I have a bridge to sell you.
I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I saw that. It was a little soul crushing, but I still love Macross, and one of those things where it's like watching what we watched of it and thinking maybe it could get better. maybe the further it goes, it gets awesome.
It has a fan base. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
I'm willing to give some effort to it to see just a hope, please. Don't do this to my childhood.
Any other thoughts, John? Wrapping it up.
Again, as we talked about at lunch today, I really would hope that they went through the 4:00 wrap up and then had some staff meeting plans for later to discuss with handlers, to discuss with a number of volunteers that might like to about what went right and what went wrong, and then use that as a means of fixing the underlying stuff. Because again, nothing impacted the pure joy that we all had of doing all the cosplays and seeing all the stuff and hanging out with people and just doing the stuff that we do. But timing of stuff, organization of stuff, safety issues, crowd flow, simple, placing of stanchions to be able to manage people.
The functionality of a con.
Yeah. I mean,
because we actually, after your panel, the last panel today, after your panel, we had a really nice discussion with guys.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like that. Those functional elements that I would have thought in the past had been absolutely solved. It's just, again, it's a con ostensibly by otaku for otaku, and the learning process continues. So I hope that they get that dialed out so that the vendors will be happy to return, the artists will be happy to return, the panelists will be happy to return, and everybody is in a good place. Because otherwise, if you shoot yourself in the foot, this is not going to see another 25 years.
If it was 2:30 today and you were outside of the convention building, then you were not in a good place.
No.
Organization.
Yes.
So props to Otakon. They keep doing the thing. They just need to dial in how to do it well. That's all. That's
Agreed. All right. We will be back in just a few minutes. Gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back with some more recent anime news. See you in a bit. And we are back. Let me switch over here. There we go. Hello, everyone.
Why, hello again.
Hello, indeed.
Hello, hello.
Let's take a moment, little breather, to talk about the anime we've been watching and the things we've been doing this week.
Oh,
what have we been doing this week?
We did something.
Yeah, prepping for this con.
Yeah. This convention has been it. So let's do the quick refresher. So our Bachelor Dunbean.
Yep.
Intriguing.
Yep.
Macross 7, less intriguing.
Less intriguing, very much.
But
hopeful, but less intriguing.
Yeah.
Hopeful, very hopeful.
Macross 7 is ridiculous. And so, if you can get on board with ridiculous, it's fun, but it is very much that.
Yes, those are lyrics.
Yeah. The Zentradi was awesome though.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else did we see? Honey and Clover?
Honey and Clover, yeah.
Yes, Honey and Clover. I really want to see now.
Yeah.
Because it really does throw me a vibe of Pet Girl Sakura Sao.
Yes.
Mixed with Genshiken.
Mm-hmm.
Like mixed with that together where it's like, okay. I can go for that.
What else? What else did we see? Was there anything else that we hopped in a panel for or a video room for? I think that was it.
Yeah.
Azuki, some of the stuff he showed up on the screen, I want to go look
Yeah.
at some of them, some of the not light novel, some of the manga stuff that they got, where it's like, ooh, I can't remember the names, but
at the Azuki panel they showed the trailer for the Yakuza babysitting guide.
Oh,
and I got verklempt again. I've already seen the episode, and I was like, watching, I'm like, oh, that was not okay.
But there was also a dealer's room.
Yes.
At Otakon.
There was.
And so we grabbed a few things which we thought we would show off to everyone.
Grab through a few things, not just throwing fries and
exactly.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing show and tell. All my stuff.
Go ahead and grab your stuff.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Absolutely. So I will start with some kind of the weird things, because no one knows what these things are. So that we went to was it Cheap Manga?
Yeah.
Booth, yeah. And they had it was volume for $5, 3 for 10, 5 for 15. So
it's just rando stuff.
Yeah, just rando stuff. And unfortunately, a lot of them are, Rave Master Volume 23.
Right.
Okay, right. So I did grab a few random things. Mythical Beast Investigator, which just looked interesting, pretty. Fairy's young girl works as a mythical beast investigator, easing tensions between humanity and the supernatural. All for that. Also, Rose Hip Rose, which is a somewhat gory action manga.
Really?
Kasumi is a high school student, next door neighbor, police assault squad ace. And when her schoolmate attempts to find out more about her, he gets caught up in the search for a killer.
Is Tokyo Pop still around?
I think so. Okay. Yeah. So there was that. There was also something.
A thing.
The thing.
Someone else tell me what that says.
He's going to tell. He's going to tell.
This is whoops. Wow, there's no even any Knights. It's Knights. That's what this is.
It's the companion novel to Days.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, very good.
So it is. I think. Is that work? No, that's not work safe. There's some ridiculous artwork in here. But I think it's safe enough to show this bit. So again, very sort of shonen-y action stuff. So I'm intrigued. Also, Hyper Dolls Volume 1. For those who might be familiar with the anime, this was one of those obscure licenses back in the 90s where sure we'll throw this over here. No one knows what this is. But it's just a fun little manga, and you may have noticed back in the day this is not flopped.
Oh yeah.
Or this is flopped, rather. This is American Order. So they flopped this for the American release.
Oh wow.
Back in those days. Yep. Absolutely. Also, the second light novel of Other Side Picnic, which all three of us looked at and went, Other Side, that thing!
Yeah, we watched it. We did the review of the first episode.
So two girls in kind of an alternate world kind of a thing. So curious, gonna try that out. And also, what else we have here? Was that 5? Was that the 5? There was a 5. Yeah, I think so. Also picked up the Blu-ray of Miss Machiko, which is kind of the original ecchi anime from back in 1981. Having fun with ridiculous situations with a sexy teacher. And then finally, just stumbled across this at a random a thing. So again, classic anime fans might recognize this twice because that is the main character from Battle Athletes, but the style is indeed Kiyohiko Azuma. So the creator of Azumanga Daioh and Yotsuba. Yep. This is a collection of his art book and various other things he has done. So you get a whole bunch of cool, like early artwork by him, including that's not. Maybe we'll try something else.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just extreme swimsuits, if you will.
extremely not there.
Oh. I mean, mostly there. But it's there we go. Various Tenchi Muyo characters done in the Azuma style, which is really cool. And then just various little manga that he's done over time with various characters, basically doujinshi. So just really cool seeing stuff from an artist like that, including a little Yotsubato special.
Try.
With a little special story with the characters of Yotsubato. So that's really, really cool. I don't think this ever showed up in the official manga releases. And it made me laugh, even though I can't read Japanese. So that tells you something. I think that was the haul. John?
My turn? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't haul much. I was looking for some DVDs and manga and stuff that I couldn't find, but I ended up with a little let's see if we could show that, a little Noel.
Nice.
For the bag. So that was pretty straightforward, simple. So the con bag has something else. And because I adore her.
Oh, look at that.
It's Noelle in her schoolgirl outfit. Oh boy. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and indeed, one other thing. From the same artist, I also found a Xiangling from Genshin Impact that I really liked.
Just beautiful. And then what makes me cry from Genshin?
Oh man.
Well, let's see if I can get that. Well, it's shiny. There we go. That's a little bit better.
Nice.
The Grand Narukami Shrine with Yai Miko and Makoto.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Nice.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So we all
surprisingly that was the only haul.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
So when we were in the artist gallery and we were walking past that, we all kind of did this.
And it never left my mind.
So I got a little bit of a haul.
Yeah, you did.
So for the pretty lady who gives me food, got her a couple T-shirts, which is this one is I'm a effing delight, and this one I really like. This is the whole reason why I got it too, because I couldn't choose between them. This one was the Reaver Bunny. Hippity hoppity, your soul's my property. So, I thought that was pretty cool. And as a result, I got a free button.
Cool.
The little kitty playing me sarcastic. Nah.
Free loot. Always love free loot.
Always love free loot.
So, I initially forgot that I was kind of looking for this. Now, I didn't get the first 3 volumes, I should say. But I've been wanting to read this because I love the anime so much. Kino's Journey. So that's
nice.
4 right there. And this is 5.
5. Awesome.
Right there. And I'm just noticing actually the mechanical designs.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
And
dang.
The plane.
Nice.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. And one of my all-time favorite mangas, which is in permanent hiatus, I think which is Kurosaki Corp Service delivery service. It's from out of Dark Horse. I got the Omnibus, which is kind of like a horror manga. It's pretty cool. Now then we got to this place that had my weakness, music, and everyone was like, "Steve, look at this! Steve, look at that!" I'm like, "I only have so much money."
Sorry. I showed you something I probably should have just left.
I was just like, but I wanted everything else too, so I was up the creek on that. So I already opened this. This is the first FMA series, so it has all the the Race Today, Go from Larkin Cell, Undo by Cool Joke, Motherland, Crystal Ray, all the Asian Kung Fu Generation. And it also has a DVD with one of the music videos and actually the opening and ending songs as they're played for the anime.
Wow.
For all students.
Yeah.
So that's and I lost my original one. So this is this is actually a nice version.
Nice.
And it actually has booklets in there.
Cool.
Along with the music, I got also, because we did this recently, and I love the music, and it's Yoko Kanno.
Yeah,
Macross Plus.
Macross Plus.
Yep. And so it has Puff on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to that on the car drive home. I heard that song on Plus. I was like,
you get the grand
and the crowning jewel of my music foray is the Cowboy Bebop. OST Future Blues, and I think this is the music. I'll know because I'll be probably listening to this on the way back. Oh, 2 CDs. I didn't notice that. I think this is the original live action music. Live action music, which had really, really good music.
And you gave up the pillows for that, Steve.
I gave up the pillows for that. I know. I'm a horrible fan of the pillows. Now this last one is the Crown Achievement, because I told these guys I'm not going to really buy DVDs, right? Because I just don't, whatever. And
famous last words.
The freaking first thing I bought was a DVD.
Yep.
But the reason why was because there's this DVD of compilation of Otomo, Katsuhiro Otomo, did another kind of like a compilation of different anime into a single movie that I came across years ago called Short Piece.
There it is.
And I have been looking for this since I think 2010.
Wow.
And I've never been able to find a copy of it. Never, ever. We walk up literally to the first table. I mean, these two guys. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Short Piece. And they're like, we don't know him. We don't know him.
Well, when we walked by yesterday, they had 2 copies. Because when we took one more spin by, I looked down. I'm like, oh, Short Piece. I'm like, wait a minute. Steve bought that. I'm like, wow, okay. How many copies of these things do they have back there?
Exactly.
Give me.
Sorry, everyone. Never mind. Ignore that.
That works, though.
It works. If it didn't. Apologies. There's something I wanted to ask about that, which I can't remember now.
About the movie?
I was just gonna comment. You say all that, but also like I did the exact same thing. I said I was gonna buy anything, and I have a stack over here. So we all went in different directions. We may have originally stated.
We supported artists and anime and all kinds of
stuff. Exactly.
Although apparently I supported Genshin. But
and artists, independent
artists. I supported them because that was all artist alley. Yeah, you guys hit dealer alley hard, and I hit artist alley hard.
Yeah. Did y'all hear that?
I hear something.
Unfortunately, there's not as much in the way of weird news this week, but there is definitely anime news. So let's dig in and start talking about them. And I just realized I need to pop things around a little bit so I can actually do that. There we go. Let us begin with just some regular old anime news. The quintessential quintuplets movie, the sequel anime film, has been doing rather well. It made, in its first 3 days after opening May 20th, it made just over $3 million US.
Damn.
Absolutely. And it has now made about $14.8 million as of July 20th. So that's, about a week ago, a little over a week ago. And it's doing so well. It is screening in 91 additional theaters. So they're actually expanding the run, which is pretty rare for anime film releases. So good
in
for
Japan
them.
only.
Well, I mean, it's only showing in Japan.
Damn. Come on, can't one of the 91 be my local theater?
Not
Please.
exactly how that works.
Everywhere in some obscure place in the middle of America. Yay!
I mean, if you want it brought over raw,
I'd still watch it because
sure
we know I would still get something from it. Be like, apparently they're all aliens. You couldn't be more wrong. Oh, sorry.
They're also adding those who come to the new screenings will get a mini colored paper featuring new illustrations and cast messages. So adding a little new handout, which is pretty darn cool. So John is booking a flight to Japan now.
Apparently.
Exactly.
Well, I can't afford the flight, so I'm taking the bus.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys in like 10 years.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Meanwhile, the Deer King, Shika no o Yunoto Yakusoku no Tabi, which is an anime film of a medical fantasy novel series by a former Ghibli staffer, earned $286,000 in the U.S. It opened making $49K in its opening weekend. It's earned a total of just over $1 million worldwide so far. G-Kids screened it at a fan preview event July 13th and English dub July 14th. Then there was a limited release July 15th. So if you're interested, you might want to check that out. Masashi Ando is the director who worked on Your Mark, Only Yesterday, Ocean Waves, Spirited Away, a bunch of other stuff, and also like Paranoid Agent and Paprika,
wow.
Your Name. So a lot of cool stuff there.
Okay.
So if you're interested, that might be a thing worth checking out at some point. Let's see here. What else? This is kind of a fun one before we get into some anime announcements. Let me actually see if I can do the thing. Boom. There we go. At Comic-Con International in San Diego, Hidetaka Tenjin, a Macross illustrator, was awarded the Inkpot Award, which is an award to notable illustrators working in the industry. And so there was early copies of a Tenjin art book, Artistry of Macross, from Flashback 2012 to Macross Frontier. They were kind of handing out like candy, apparently. And so that kind of got them running, and he got the Inkpot Award. So good for him. As you can see, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Dang, yeah.
Pretty awesome. He's done illustrations for Macross Zero, Aquarion, Noin, Hellsing Ultimate. He drafted some stuff for Gundam and Yamato. And he began his career with a fan drawing of a VF-1 Valkyrie back when he was in college, and that kind of got some attention and kind of pulled him into the industry. Pretty cool.
Say he's understanding the equipment because holy crap, that's looking good. I would like the 160th model of that for Arcadia now, please.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's also do a quick license check. So it's Otakon week, weekend. So we got some license announcements. Discotech has licensed kind of everything. No, but they had quite a licensing run. They've licensed the original Urusei Yatsura anime. The one that ran from 1981 to 1986.
Holy.
So they're going to release 4 box sets to include all 195 episodes of original Urusei Yatsura. The English subtitles will be based on the Animego release, which was a release that began on VHS. Give you an idea of how far that went. Exactly. And to that point, it'll just have the Japanese dub. There'll be no English dub on it. But they'll be reworking that one. They're also licensing City Hunter, the films and specials. Machine Robo, they're running Battle Hackers, Symphogear XV or 15, I'm not sure. The Princess of Pilot, which I've heard really good things about. And the Tales of Symphonia OVAs. So all of those are new licenses coming up.
I'm trying to figure out did I see Tales of Symphonia something or other?
I cannot answer that question.
I'm probably thinking Symphogear mixed with Sound Euphonium.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there we go. That's what I've seen. No, I haven't seen that. I'm just making this up as I
go. So all of those are coming. Thank you, Discotech, for bringing more stuff out.
Well, I know Beautiful Dreamer is on Crunchyroll now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was like weird to see that they're getting more Urasayatsura on Crunchyroll. I was just like, wow, okay. I mean, that's super. That's an opportunity to see some more of it and like understand more.
Definitely, absolutely. Also got news that Anime Matsuri, which is a anime con in Houston, announced that they've licensed 2 of the Young Animator Training Project short films. Genba Nojo and Chuck Shimetsu. So they're both half-hour shorts. Again, they're part of the originally Anime Mirai. Now it's Anime something else. They've renamed it since. So yes, those are coming out. What made it a little more unusual is that they announced that the dubs are coming out, and that ADR directing and voice acting was handled by Vic Mignogna.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there was some kind of chatter about that online, as you might expect.
I would expect that, yes.
And the 2 female voice actors tweeted saying basically, we don't always know who we're working with when we go into these projects. So interesting thing.
So after all this time, there are still issues.
Yes.
Interesting.
And John and Chat, yes, this was the project to kind of train new young animators by giving them money to make a half-hour short, kind of wherever they wanted to kind of experiment. That was where Little Witch Academia came out of. A bunch of other things were made out of that. Cool stuff. So those may be coming, and there may be controversy behind those, as you might imagine. But personally, I love talking about new anime announcements. Let's talk about those. Let's begin with the announcement of the license, or the new anime from saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement. The light novel series getting an anime coming in January 2023, so half a year away. Woman falls off a cliff and is transported to a fantasy world, and then realizes she's able to actually bounce between them. So she can transport back to Earth and then back to the world, and realizes that if she does this, she can build up gold in the fantasy world and then cash that out in the real world because of how expensive gold is.
Wow. We were just talking about that premise too, about like anime where they bounce back and forth between worlds doing things. And okay, cool.
Yeah.
Way to crash the Earth's economy, but that's fine.
I'm excited because it is by the same author of Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life?
Okay.
I really enjoyed the anime of that.
Yeah, I did too. That's good. It's very cool.
So here's hoping. There's a manga adaptation out in Japan. I don't believe it has been licensed anywhere yet. Oh, I'm sorry. Soul Press has licensed the novels, so you can possibly check out those novels at some point. I think that those are for abilities average, not 80,000 gold though.
Okay.
So, FYI. Actually, wait. I say that. I take that back. Nope. Kodansha is publishing it in the U.S. So
nice.
you can grab those novels.
Sweet.
As well as the manga adaptation, apparently. So, looking forward to that. Also, getting an anime adaptation out of Sasaki and Peeps. I love that title. Basically, a bored salaryman visits a pet shop and decides to adopt a bird. And then when he brings it home, he is promptly told by his roommate that he is a sage from another world who bestows Sasaki with new powers and the ability to cross between worlds. And so hilarity ensues, basically, as various folks are brought in with the bored salaryman and do all that. To quote Yen
I'll
Press,
watch it.
Yeah. All Sasaki wants to do is use these newfound powers to live in peace and comfort, but there are more than a few colorful characters who might get in the way of that.
Including the Demon Lord. What?
The Demon Lord, exactly. And lots of cute girls. Because of
Yay! I mean,
exactly.
Very interesting. Highly intellectual.
Yeah. Clearly, very highly intellectual show.
Highly intellectual.
Also getting a season 2 of The Detective Is Already Dead.
So, yeah, I'm really surprised by this one.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I liked it. But I mean, the title tells you exactly what kind of happens, and then it just kind of goes weird from there. And I really liked her character when she wasn't dead. You know? So I'm curious to see where this is going to go.
So yeah, apparently it's gonna. They're building this into a franchise. Like there's some steam behind it. Who knows? Who knows? That's it.
Done. That's done.
Yeah, that was pretty much all of the news for this week. Obviously, more will be coming out of Otakon. I skimmed the stuff out there, but there wasn't much of huge note. There wasn't a huge, honestly, industry presence at Otakon, so there weren't a lot of announcements.
Yeah,
as it turned out.
Yeah, what was it? Funimation wasn't there.
Yeah, Crunchyroll wasn't there.
Crunchyroll wasn't there.
We had High Dive.
High Dive was there.
High Dive and Azuki.
Yeah,
I mean, really. That was the only people who you could get subscriptions from. So it's like,
yep, pretty much. So kind of odd. So yeah, that's all the news for this week. See you all next week. All right. So
wow. What?
Exactly. Yeah. I need a sound effect for the sound effect paddle for that.
Steve scream. Is everything okay back there?
Oh, dang it. I could actually do that. I could cue up the video clip of that occasionally.
That would be good. And hilarious.
Maybe a new thing coming, everyone. Just letting you know. That said, there was some history this week. Let's talk about some history. Let me switch over to that. Welcome to This Week in Anime History, where we talk about things that happened this week in anime history. And we have 2 stories to talk about. Going all the way back to July 29th, 1989 was the premiere of Kiki's Delivery Service. Wow. Yeah. The movie, and obviously one of Hayao Miyazaki's movies, Studio Ghibli movies, but important historically because it was really the first Ghibli movie to make it big. You know, to really bring in a lot of money to get kind of made Ghibli the household name that it is now. Not that their earlier work was trash or anything, right. But it is Totoro, great, whatever. And yeah, exactly.
Well, how did Nausica do in its opening?
Okay. I mean, they were all successful. But none of them were, as I understand it, like blockbusters.
Okay, so they made their cost back,
as far as I understand. Yeah.
And then I'm going to presume that now, because of the way that things have built up, that they have obviously generated additional income.
Yes, I'm sure they
people have gone back and be like, I want to buy that now. Yeah, there we go. Keep buying.
More of that, please. Jumping forward a mere 5 years to the day was the very first Otakon. Speaking of, the Days in Penn State hosted 350 attendees at the very first Otakon.
Oh wow! Did I miss that at the Oda Museum? I thought it was always like.
Oh, the Oda Museum was closed.
There's that.
Yes.
Actually, it wasn't long. We just walked in and 2 guys were no, come on. We're not open, guys. Come on, get out.
Get out. God, the Penn State Days in. Wow. So it just keeps gravitating south.
350 attendees.
Yep.
Which is like less than half of the apparently volunteer force.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
And was it 40,000?
40,000 this year.
40,000 this year.
Yep. Can you imagine?
I wonder if they'll keep drifting south.
1994, as they were sitting around the picnic tables watching on the TV, this stuff, they're going, oh, yeah, we should do this every year. Yeah, I'll just bring the beer next time. 28 years later, it was like, oh, my God, what have we wrought? Oh, the hubris.
It all started with a VHS cassette player and some cassettes. And now it all just went to...
It really did. No, seriously, that's what it was. It was it was a bunch of people that someone had a TV and a VHS player, and they just brought tapes, and they got together and they just started playing stuff, and did their own thing.
Legally acquired, fully licensed, and absolutely
all of them, all the time.
Everything was completely above board. Sure,
Absolutely.
It was. Back in '94, good luck if you found anything licensed. Good God.
Licensing? What's licensing?
Licensing. We don't know.
I bought it from a mail order house in New York City at a P.O. box. That must be licensed. Sure it is. You keep believing that.
From Adams Japanimation Productions. Yeah, totally legit. Definitely.
I bet that negotiation went well. What was it? Meriwether, New Jersey? Yeah, I'm sure he negotiated all the licenses for everything on that list.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's all the history for this week, though.
Wow.
We'll see you all next week.
Oh, we were so slap happy.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do have a question.
Oh, yes.
One moment. One second. Hold on. I just need a moment. What did we learn
on the show
tonight, Brad?
That we're tough guys.
I learned that we're tough guys.
That we're all tough guys.
And that we're against ninjas.
Yeah.
And
trust, loyalty.
Yep.
And friendship forever.
Friendship forever, absolutely.
Trust, loyalty, and friendship forever. Wailing on the guitar.
So again, guys, if you have not gotten a chance, I'm going to put it in chat. Miami Connection was the experience of the con. Specifically filtered through riff tracks, and their wonderful riffing of the movie. You will not understand half of what we say for the rest of time, because half of what we say is going to be Miami Connection references. I think that's DNA at this point.
Yeah.
But boy, I learned that. Let's get serious. I learned that something that you love can turn into something that you don't love as much. That a con like Otakon, that's been a kind of a deep part of me, can have a bad year.
Yeah.
And things can go poorly, and that's okay. Like you don't have to. It doesn't have to become part of you. Right. That can just become a thing. That, that's a thing that happened, and we move on. And we acknowledge that these things happen, and trying to live with it. And that is the reality. And that it's okay to feel disappointed in that, and then to like I said, to move on and say, oh, all right, I felt that thing. That's okay. That was that weekend, and that happened. And you can still enjoy aspects of it. You can still enjoy being there with great friends, being there, hanging out, and enjoying things, and having that time too. And oh my gosh, have anime artists, fan artists improved?
Yo,
holy yeah.
I'm continually impressed by the quality of that artist, Allie. John,
that dark crystal print. Jeez.
Yeah, that dark crystal stuff. John, how about you?
Well, and thinking about artist Alley, it's like, I know Watanabe-san said that for Studio Orange, language is the They don't like doing remote kind of stuff, and you have to be able to function in language. But oh my, makes you wonder whether they have an artist talent pool that they teach Japanese to, because holy crap, some of these people are like front line capable of doing a lot of amazing work. It's like, damn it. And I would buy more of it if my bank account would allow. I've not been to as many cons. You guys, between the two of you, have been to the up, down, left, down, sideways, small con, big con, medium con. I've not been to that many, but in the short time and the few cons that I've been to, I've definitely skewed further towards enjoying the company of friends, enjoying the things that we do together in the context of there is a con and we're here, so that some of the panels aren't good. Some of the dealer room isn't like, functionally laid out. Some of the food's not great. I don't care. I've come to spend time with people and passion that we have for anime, and to just enjoy the rarefied air that you don't get anywhere else. You don't walk into the grocery store and folks are wearing anime stuff necessarily. Nobody wants to stop and talk to you and be like, "Hey, is that hat a Gloomy Bear hat?" They just look at you and go, "Why are you wearing a bear hat and it's pink and it's got ears?" Be like, you wouldn't understand. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that. I hate that there are issues that detract from the experience, but that I can comfortably put aside and say, no, it was well worth the time, the experience. We can all do crazy things and be tough guys. Being tough is important.
Yeah, I think you mean tough guys.
Exactly. And then we can hang out with our friends. Oh, God.
John and Brett are my daddy.
We're all really tired.
Go ahead.
Steve, how about you?
No, I don't want to do
Oh, dear. It's funny to watch, folks.
It's all about trust this Riff Tracks version.
Yeah.
Please watch it.
And John Ryder brought up local food. The local food scene.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We actually had
food.
We had good. Actually, to that point, we actually had good ramen on Friday, right? Was it Friday or was it Saturday?
Yeah, we went to the Otakon Brain Trust over to that ramen place. It was Friday. No, it was Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
Yep.
So it was that was really nice, and discovering the firehouse, and actually in the con, which was like really did say my first was like fair place.
And Clyde's was good. I liked Clyde's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Yep. Buy it. Watch it.
My goodness.
Yeah. So I learned that I really don't learn, but I try. I try really hard. I mean, at least I can read.
True.
Yes.
Somewhat literate.
And you could wild monkey mash on keyboard.
I'm a champ at that.
Yeah, there you go.
At that. That's what I'm probably going to do when I get home tonight. And not sleep Genshin.
Let's not do that.
So I've learned that I'm still entranced by the dealer room, that you can still find things, and it's just amazing how, like, on one hand you're like, I'm going to be good, I'm not going to buy a deal. Oh my God, please, and it's done.
Yeah.
To the point of like the artist alley really was impressive, and you guys are right. Over the years, it has gotten better and better and better. And I was thinking, like, someone buy my stick drawing of Inuyasha for $50, okay? You know, it would be competing with these just like I really just wanted those coasters, like coasters of Spy
Family.
Yeah.
And some of these prints and what you got, John, and just like, and of course had to be a freaking Comey. It was really, really good.
Oh, the calligraphy Comey at the auction.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
talent.
Yes. I learned that there's still stuff good. Like you can still find surprisingly good stuff. And I've also learned that throwing French fries and chicken wings or chicken tenders arbitrarily at a stone structure is only momentarily cathartic because you still gotta get back in the line.
True.
So just don't worry. Throwing food is in a hissy fit is only mildly cathartic.
This is true.
But I did learn. I did learn that even God damn it! Why did you? No, God bless it. All right. He just showed me some more Comey stuff. And I'm just like, but I did
it's
learn
the $250 Comey Dakimakura. Oh, it's on sale.
Oh my God. Anyway, so I've learned that even if things kind of go.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So distracted by the Comey stuff. He's like, I thought. So that even when a con kind of goes sideways a little bit too a lot, there's still nuggets that you get. There's still some magic there. There's still some things to do, and it makes it so much better when you are. I mean, I know this sounds cliche at this point, but it really does help when you have friends, John, Brent, and to travel with you on this little bumpy, actually volcanic seething journey. And you come out of this with things, not just physical things, but memories and things like that, and being able to have a thing where you can go, I'm a tough guy.
Yes,
exactly.
Tough guys.
Tough guys.
We are tough guys.
We survive because we're tough guys.
We're tough guys. Friends forever, through thick and thin.
Ninjas never.
All right. That'll do it for us for tonight. Enjoy. Yeah. I shouldn't drink before these. Have a good one.
Konbanwa all. Oyasuminasai.